What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. If y'all don't know, my name is Ghost and today I want to talk about Biomutant. And this was my face when I was watching most of the reviews. This is a game that I was waiting for the last few years, ever since it was first shown off at Gamescom. By the trailer, I was instantly curious about this game. A kung fu samurai raccoon thing that's wielding guns and swinging swords in this beautiful looking world, I'm definitely in. The marsupial cat thing might just not be for everyone, but it targets a wide audience from young adults to grown-ups that might enjoy the lore for just, what it is. The world that it paints without humans left and how these creatures of all kinds have just kind of turned our planet into their own little new world is something completely special all in itself. I did complete this game in just over 25 hours played, choosing to go the light path and do everything good along in my journey. I've started a second playthrough doing everything for the dark side and just being a little evil shithead, and I think it's been fun. Now this is a very rare case for me, especially in single player games. I've usually just been a one and done type of guy. Games gotta be pretty damn special for me to want to come back and experience the same story with maybe some minor differences. For instance, I just played through Resident Evil Village, and I honestly have zero desire to go back and play through it again, even on hardcore mode, but Biomutant has a certain calm, relaxing factor that's just appealing to myself and I think a lot of other people. So here's where I'm going to talk about the reviews for this game, and no, I'm not going to come out here and just say all these people were wrong, because a lot of the reviews make great points and even a lot that I actually do agree with, but at the same time I think a lot of the negativity just simply comes from the fact that this game wasn't what they thought it was going to be. I think a lot of people were going into this thinking that they were going to get a raccoon samurai Skyrim, and when that just wasn't it, people decided to completely rip it apart. Now for the big things I can kind of understand, like the narrator, I wasn't really a fan of him. I kind of wish they went a little bit of a different direction here and actually went with voicing the characters throughout, so I could get a little bit more invested in them and actually care a little bit more about what was going on in the story. But besides that, I actually had no problem with the story or dialogue. I actually enjoyed my time all the way to the end. Some quests get a little fetchy and have you running across the world and getting on mounts a lot, but I kind of think that's all part of it in some way. The world is absolutely gorgeous to explore and traverse, and I guarantee you'll get sidetracked along the way with either hidden caves, little ghost towns, or hazardous areas that just keep the traveling interesting. Now another thing that people were saying is that they don't think that the world has enough enemies. Now while I kind of think this is true, it's kind of false at the same time. Personally for myself, I found enemies to be paced quite well actually. Enemies will usually either be at crossroads, just outside of camps, right along off the sides of main roads just scattered randomly. They're usually roam the abandoned towns and camps that you can find all throughout the world. Now while this game does have some really big open areas, I found enemies to be just about right. You don't want to have to be fighting something at every single turn in the road or fields just littered with enemies everywhere. It just honestly sounds kind of miserable. The combat. The main gripe here is that the sound in this game while in combat just could have a little bit more oomph to it, so that you actually feel a bit more when you're damaging a character, and also the lack of a proper lock-on feature. Now I was able to see kind of past these. I honestly thought that a lock-on would be nice, but I had zero issues playing without it, and the feeling that you get when you knock a character back is actually quite satisfying. They do this little slow motion when they fall back. It kind of feels good. Now pairing your magic abilities with your gunplay and your melee weapons and combining them all together here, especially once you get the hang of it, is incredibly fun, especially when you're taking on the big guys. Another thing is the crafting in this game is done amazingly well. Consistently scavenging for upgrade parts for my toilet brush sword or attachments to upgrade my gun absolutely never got old, as there are so many cool upgrades to craft, from weapons to armor. Now just a few days ago, Experiment 101 came out and said that their first patch for Biomutant will be releasing here shortly, and it will be addressing sound issues across the board. This means combat, melee effects, mount sound effects, and more. In this update, they're going to be fixing a lot of other issues with game crashes, tweaking the narrator and dialogue. They're going to be fixing so many things that everybody had problems with in all the reviews. Here, I'm just going to throw the patch notes on the screen for you guys. Crazy, huh? I think the flack that this game received when it was at release was kind of warranted, but at the same time, this studio, this small little studio of under 20 people, I could be wrong about that, but in the credits for Experiment 101, I'm pretty sure I counted 18 people. 18 people created this, and you can tell it was a little bit over ambitious, but I think that's kind of what we need out here. I've played so many games over the last few years that just bore the ever-loving shit out of me, that just got major praise, and honestly, this wasn't one of them. The world is innovative, the gameplay and mechanics are phenomenal, especially just with minor tweaks. I think if Biomutant 2 came out and the characters were voiced and the combat was fine-tuned, maybe the team size was doubled, maybe even tripled by then, I think they could come out with something absolutely special and maybe even one of my favorite games of all time, if given the proper shot. Now, do I think that this game honestly deserves the $60 price tag? Well, the fan in me wants to say yes, because I had a blast with this game. When I've had when I'm getting close to 30 hours time spent, I think that's definitely worth my $60. But the critic in me wants to say that they should have released this game at around the $40 price range, maybe with some sort of like a $60 upgrade if you wanted. Or I get it though, THQ is the publisher of this game, and THQ is a AAA publisher, so they're gonna charge AAA prices. You can't really blame Experiment 101, who's trying to get into the game and probably just took a once-in-a-lifetime shot when signing with THQ. So I would say if you're still on the fence about this game, wait for a sale, but if this game is something that you may like, I would honestly encourage you to buy it and to support these small devs, because this game is actually pretty damn good, and I'd like to see more companies take risks like this in the future. This project was incredibly ambitious that in my eyes succeeded at its main goal of just being a fun, quirky, stress-relieving RPG with many layers of mechanics with a simple but engaging story. I absolutely loved Biomutant, and I honestly hope that you guys do too. You can tell that a lot of passion went into this project, and I just want to make sure that they see that, it's noticed, and it's cared for. And that is going to wrap it up, guys. If you did like the video, a like on the video is very much appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We are on the way to 2K, and all the support is very much appreciated. Thank you guys so much. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.